Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another live stream. We are one subscriber away from 95,000 exactly. On my phone here, I'm seeing it's 94,999. Want to quickly take you guys through that journey here to quickly congratulate us and thank you all, but also obviously, and of course, give you guys a really cool story because there has been a lot to talk about. Yet again, that came out. I don't know how to say that perfectly, but there's a lot of stuff which just came out, and I want to kind of inform you guys about all of that. But while I'm quickly here telling everybody in Discord to hop on in, we have this little counter right in front of us because once more, there's just one more person who needs to subscribe, and then we are there. I'm not exactly sure how quick this updates, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have no idea. But I'm going to also tell you guys if we've hit it on my phone, which I think would also suffice. Ooh, we are one subscriber off, but I'm not seeing anybody in the chat just quite yet. Okay, there is one person right now, one like. If you're here, please let me know you are, so then we can get started with our story in a little second. Because there's so much which is happening. Every time I look throughout Twitter, look throughout my news websites, there's just so much going on. We are one subscriber away, guys, from 95,000. One person away. it's freaking crazy. I'm excited for it. Joe says, say my name. Welcome, Joe. Welcome, Antonio. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. In a little second, I'm not sure. We need one more person to press the subscribe button. Oh, guys, on my phone, we have hit it. We have hit it. We have hit night. I think so. Oh, no, one person has gone away again. If you haven't pressed the subscribe button yet, make sure you press that button right now. Let's get to 95,000. I think we should be there. We should be. I think somebody has pressed it, but it's not updating just quite yet. Should I quickly refresh the website, maybe? I will refresh here. Let's quickly see if it's gonna update. Oh, it's gone down. What's this? No, it's still, wait. Okay, it's just not fast. Because on my phone here, we've already hit 95,000. So quickly, congratulations to all of us. Pretty crazy, guys. Pretty freaking crazy. What a day. What a day. I'm extremely happy with everything. Having said that, the XRP charts are looking a little bit more elaborate than normal, huh? So a lot has been going on. I want to teach you guys a little bit of what we've been seeing, what we've been doing, how I've been making profit, and why there's such longevity in the space. There's so much cool stuff going on. Shout out to Brad the Huddler. Shout out to Brad the Huddler. Where you guys are watching from, everybody? Let's quickly see. Once it updates here, it's been official, so that would be really cool if it did. It's not yet there, though, but let's come back in a couple minutes and let's see. Where you guys are watching from right now, for me, it is about 8:30 p.m. as you can already clearly see. Hawaii in the house, Orange County. Dusty, what's up, XP Clan? What's up, everybody? Why 500 times? You'll know in just a second as we go through our story and talk about that. It's not updating. But I guess you guys can also see it down below, huh? In the comment section, like when you see the subscriber amount. I think we've hit it, though. On my phone, we have. So, yeah, quickly, just congratulations to everybody watching here. We have hit that. That is, whoop! Crazy fast, crazy fast, crazy fast. It's really insane to me, at least. It is really freaking insane to me. So, by the way, I've been sleeping with Bybit open. I've been sleeping with this open. I've been using it all day long. It's been hectic, all right? Bybit once more is the exchange I've been using right now, but it's been heavy. My Bybit addiction is what you might call it. All right, let's get into our story from today. Hopefully, you guys are all doing good. I really, really hope so. So, I was telling you guys yesterday about my XRP purchases, how I come up with them, why I do them. Partially, I would say, is discussed in Patreon only, but partially, of course, I'm also telling you guys about here. And you can see there were quite a lot of really interesting buys throughout this journey. I mean, for example, if you check the 14th, we had a couple of pretty cool buys here. This is where we bought in. This is where we bought in. This is where we bought in. Let's quickly see. Oh, no, it's actually, I think here when we already bought in. This is when we bought in nearly at the bottom, I believe. Yes, sir. Here we bought in, here we made profit, here we bought in, here we made profit. So, my little story about this end here, these times I haven't really shown you guys profit, what it works like, or why I'm doing it. No, the 500 thing will come in just a second. Just wait, you impatient. Just wait a little second, and we'll get to it. So, this little part here is actually referring to when we purchase, which is basically down from a local high. You can see when I bought. And in this case here, this is when I actually decide to take profit. So in this case here for the last day, we've already taken 2 times 3.5% profit only today on the XRP pair. It's just because it was so simple, and this is only for my trade stash. So if I have a trade stash, this is sometimes what I go for. So for example, let's say I start out with $1,000. I just wait for a good opportunity. Okay, it's hit this spot right here. I just buy into it and sell once I'm at 3.5% profit, for example. You might call that a lot. You might call it almost no money, but I call it freaking juicy because it's about the percentage, not about the money. You guys see it? And that's what I did twice throughout this day. And you can do it on XRP. You can do it on anything like that. Once more, those are the tricks I'm teaching over in Patreon if you wanted to know. But that is one part of it all. Whew, that is one part. Here is a little bit of the bigger story with XRP2. A lot of people have been comparing it to Doge. I've been seeing that left, right, left, right, left, right. You know, if you kind of compare it to the previous bull run, you can actually draw so many different ideas as well. For example, that this little push, which we saw back then, is basically the push we saw here. And that these little 2 bumps are the same bumps we saw right here. And that this rush, which we're witnessing right now, is, for example, kind of in comparison to the rush we saw back there. That's kind of something which I definitely think also might have some validity to it. Then again, this is just literally this with a bars pattern copied. All right, that's all I've done here and replace it. Some people like to stretch it over and so forth and so on. You might also say, okay, you know what? This here was a pump. Wait, let's quickly see here. One of those was a big pump and dump. Let's kind of, not consider those, for example. Let's only see the bigger move. And then again, if we kind of stretch it over a little bit, this might be what's going on for XRP as well, huh? Or it's basically going to go really crazy. Just following the run there in terms of lengths and whatnot. But then again, that's just one theory. I'm not using that too wholeheartedly. We actually have some crazier stuff. Since a lot of you guys are wondering about 500 times, should I just talk about it now? Let us do that. So, Mac Attack posted on Twitter, crypto market could surge 500 times, Raul Paul says. He also pointed out to the fact that currently, the digital asset sector is 2.26 trillion. So what is it going to be worth? At least 100 times from here still, probably 200 times, maybe even 500 times. These are massive opportunities, guys. And let me tell you, you know how often I have underestimated the market and had crazy regret so many times. I've had this with stocks, had this with crypto, had this with anything. If only I knew from the start that this was going to get so big, of course, would have put a lot of money in. Of course I would have put everything in. But you didn't. I didn't. I didn't expect it to go this crazy. Otherwise, I would have done it. Even in 2017, 18, when I was starting on my YouTube channel, going with all of this, I wasn't expecting it to go this huge. Otherwise, as you can already tell, I would have put in more money. I would have gone even crazier, logically. But I didn't know. Now, as time moved on, I kind of learned something, which was that you should never underestimate an emerging market, specifically one where most of the people are in here to make freaking money. So majority of these people are in here to stay because they want to make money with that. And the other part is there to stay because they know this is the freaking newer technology. Now, if you have that kind of thought in the back of your head that people are not really going to leave this space unless they get kind of feared out, and feared out basically stands for people quickly pressing the sell button because they can't handle a little bit of volatility. They can't handle the price going down just a little bit, so they sell because they are afraid. As long as that stays okay, mediocre, and doesn't go too completely crazy, which is what I was a little bit afraid about now that a lot of people are posting these gains about these dog coins and whatnot. Not Dogecoin, but those other coins. Now, that's a little bit scary. I think, however, it'll be fine for right now. And that is, again, that 100 times, 200 times, 500 times. It is so simple. It's an easy target in the back of my head. But people are often, again, putting that thought down. Why I think it's easy? Let me tell you guys in just a second. But first, make sure you press that freaking like button. We have 500 people watching already. That is crazy. But let's also try to get to at least 100 likes, everybody. We are at 73 right now. If you haven't pressed it yet, make sure you help out the channel just a little bit by pressing that like button. Like, why not, right? Why not? What do you have to lose? It helps out the channel a little bit, and I appreciate you a ton. If I could, I'd give you a kiss right now, if I could. All right? I mean, theoretically speaking, I could. If I'm going to fly over there, we could. But okay. So the reason I'm saying this is so early is because we have, for example, just now seen some of these articles talk about an ETF for Ethereum. And once more, those are all kind of starty things, really, really close to the start. We've also just seen that the US ETF is not even there. And basically, if we're looking at the amount of money in the crypto space right now, It is freaking how much? $2.2 trillion. If we look a little bit back, right? If we look a little bit back, like, let's quickly see here on a broader perspective. I should put up the XRP multi-chart. Let's quickly take this one along. If we quickly look back just a little bit, you'll notice how crazy this $2 trillion already is, yet the people didn't know. The people really did not know. Even I did not know it would go this crazy. And somebody asked, how is the lawsuit going? I will tell you an update in just a second, right? Do not fret. I got you, boys. So if we take a little bit of a step back into the total, let's see here, this total one. You know what's interesting, guys? If you take a little bit of a step back and look at this, let's go on a daily perspective. This, by the way, this website is TradingView. If you take a little bit of a step back and look, the highest point we hit in 2017 was 700 billion. It was like 830, depending on what place you looked at, but let's say $761 billion. Well, what did we hit before that? What did we hit in any of the bull runs before? Oh, let's see here. Okay, so a couple of bull runs were happening throughout 2015, 2013, 14. You had some bull runs everywhere. Let's see here. Okay, so the maximum we hit in 2015, for example, or 16, let's go for, is about $12 billion. At this point here, guys, nobody thought it could ever get to $1 trillion. And more funny enough, if you go back to 2013, I don't think that many people thought it could ever get to as close to where it is right now, because the gains in this perspective are just ridiculously crazy already. Now, I know the thing of diminishing returns, where the higher you go, the harder it will be, which is true. But $100 trillion is just an example, is still, in my opinion, very small for crypto. And then again, it's times 5 from right now. But then again, with XRP the way it is right now, let's quickly see, all right? So 79, let's quickly do this. 79 times 50, just to give a little example, is about 4,000, which means about 4 trillion. In this case here, what do we do again? 79 times 50 is what we did. That's about 4 trillion. This again, so it would mean about 400. So it would mean about $40 trillion in total. I think, right? Or is it really stupid? Is it times? Yeah, it's times 500 in this case, right? So it's also $1. Did we say 500 or 100? I think 500. So that would be also 1.73 times 500. That's again a pretty high thing. 865 per XRP. But that is again specifically if we're to only be XRP. Now, you got to, of course, kind of consider what type of factors would play a role. And I'm not saying this is really going to happen anytime soon or nothing like that. We're just talking about the growth here. So right now, $2 trillion for the total market cap times 500. You can already guess for yourself kind of where that's going to be. It's basically the new, the quantity upwards. What is it? You go from $1 trillion to 1,000 trillion. But what is it called in English? I'm not sure. Quadrillion, maybe? Again, guys, not a native English speaker, as most of you most likely know. We have some frames being dropped. Even though I just restarted the computer, sometimes you have that issue. Sometimes you have that issue. I'm not exactly sure why that was, though. We got 3% of the frames being dropped. And, of course, 100 people instantly turned off the stream, like always. But I quickly let me know, guys. Is it quadrillion? I think so in English, right? I think so that is the case. Don't, by the way, put any of your XRP amounts in the comment section. That is never a smart thing to do. Please, guys, please do not do that. So yeah, let's quickly take a little bit of a look at the article here. Crypto market could surge 500 times, Raoul Paul says. The crypto market has been exploding this year, and Raoul Paul says that investors don't even have a clue about the magnitude of what is happening. The entire crypto market could increase in size by 50,000%, he recently said. During an interview on the Gestalt University podcast, Paul said that the public is generally unprepared for the ways in which digital assets could transform the current financial landscape. Quote, "There is a parallel financial universe being built in front of our eyes, and people are slowly migrating across. People have no comprehension yet of how big this is. They're bickering over whether Bitcoin is an investment vehicle without realizing the magnitude of what is actually going on," end quote. Powell also made sure to point out the fact that blockchain technology and digital assets sector slowly reshape the financial system, and the market is set to capture hundreds of trillions of dollars of value. So what I usually like to do whenever I talk about this one, and yes, I basically keep thinking for myself, okay, so gold right now is worth about 11 trillion. But how much are currencies worth? Well, the US right now is about $30 trillion in debt. In 5 years, they're going to be going into $50 trillion of debt. Can crypto get that big? Which is, for example, 25 times from now. Too crazy. Then again, would XRP take a bigger market percentage? Well, if we follow logic and statistics, yes, it will. Let me quickly go to CoinMarketCap to prove to you guys that little theory here. On CoinMarketCap, you can actually see the dominance here over at the top. And one thing you'll notice is that XRP is really picking up the pace in terms of market cap, but definitely not close to where it was in the past. For example, here in 2013, XRP really had no cap, of course, right? As it grew over, it had a little bit more. Here in 2014 somewhere, it had about 13.7% market cap, meaning out of everything, XRP was 14% of the market. Now, that, of course, changed a little bit as time moved on. Here in 2017, once more, though, they had about 17.6% of the entire market, which means Ripple, let's just call it XRP had 17% of the entire crypto market in its realm. And that basically, as of this point, would mean 2.2 trillion times 0.17, right? That's already what you can kind of fetch right there. So that is about, let's say about 20% of this entire market would be for XRP right now. Isn't that already kind of crazy if 20% were to be for them? You can already guess, that's still a price times 5, for example, from this point forward, if we only were to get the same percentage in the market cap. But then again, you should also reconsider, it can definitely break through from this whole cycle, as right now we have one of the most important losses going on in the crypto space ever. And what I am personally assuming, what I'm personally thinking, is that if they fix this, which they will, this percentage of XRP will increase so dramatically because they are the first properly regulated cryptocurrency that it will shake a lot of people's heads. It will really just, people will look at this like, that is really crazy. And somebody says here, crypto is too complicated for older people. To a certain degree, yes, crypto is really quite difficult, but then again, you can really make it quite simple if you start to understand the technology behind it, what the purpose is, and you don't have to understand the intricate technology, for example, what sharding on Ethereum really is, right? You don't have to be too intricate about all that stuff, or exactly how consensus were to work in a different protocol. It doesn't really matter. To be honest, it's mostly about the vision. As long as you understand the superficial vision of it, I think you can definitely see that. Or you can definitely see the vision of crypto and kind of feel it, be involved, and just move along with the whole ordeal. At least that's my thoughts about the situation. Like, you don't need to know it too deeply. If you involve yourself more deeply, you're also more stressed about everything, at least in my opinion. By the way, the live stream from Ripple going on, it is 100%, 199%, 200,000% a scam. So, yeah. I didn't say older people, by the way. Somebody else said older people. I was just thinking every person anyway. Because, it doesn't matter if you're old, young, it doesn't matter. Because, well, however old you are, there's definitely a barrier to entry for crypto. At least I would personally think, right? It's not just like you can just start crypto today and understand everything all of a sudden. No, one of the main things which I think are difficult are to buy crypto. I would bet that 95% of these guys right now watching don't even know how to buy a coin via Uniswap, right? Or how to buy a token, I should say. Like, don't even know how to use it, or how to use MetaMask as an example. I'm going to say 95% of the people watching here do not even know. And if you kind of consider that, which are one of the most easy ways, I would say, to use crypto, then yeah, you start to also understand that, yeah, the majority of the people coming in are here to make money. They don't really care about technology. But then again, if they just know the mission, I think that's also okay, because they don't need to be able to develop it themselves. They just need to be aware of the vision, the mission, and then kind of move along with that, because the majority of the people utilizing XRP eventually will not know what XRP really does in the back end of things anyway. Last sentence of this article was, this is a multi-quadrillion dollar world that's being developed in terms of flow, in terms of the stock market, the bond market, the equities markets. All of these things are $200, $300, $400 trillion markets each, he said. And if you think crypto can't, for example, get to $100 trillion because of something, I will ask you right now, why not? Why would that not be possible? I don't know. It's just because crypto is not there just quite yet, but that is where the profit lies, of course. For example, going right now times 40 in crypto is getting, for example, to $100 trillion, where, again, XRP will most likely have 6 times the amount of market cap that it has right now, which is basically times 240 from where it is right now, which is, again, crypto at about $100 trillion. That is pretty damn simple. And then the only thing we're kind of basing this on is, again, it's going to go eventually to $200 trillion. But by the time that crypto gets there, a lot of these equities markets and whatnot will have most likely also developed quite a lot, where they're most likely 3 times as big as well. Especially now that a lot of people, a lot of the quote unquote normal folk are getting money too. For sakes, people who held Doge a couple $100 worth, couple tens of dollars worth, are now millionaires, for example. People, a lot of the quote-unquote geeks who bought Bitcoin in 2010-11 for maybe $10 worth are now millionaires. Some are potentially billionaires, people who just bought a little bit of crypto back in the day. And that's, again, I think the great shift. Even the dot-com bubble wasn't as big as it is, I guess, today with the whole crypto thing, because it's so simple to make money. It is so ridiculously simple. All you have to do is just pick a random crypto, buy it, and make money throughout the journey. It's almost a guarantee. I'm not going to say it is, but it's almost. And a big part that's fueling that, of course, is the worsening economy within the United States. I think so. I would say the fact that there's so much inflation going on, at least will come, and the amount of money being pumped, that's definitely one of the most scary things, right? That there's just more and more money being pumped in. The debt right now is at 30 trillion. Eventually, I think it will go to about 50 trillion in 4 or 5 years. That might, again, just bleed up and go up and up and up as time moves on. It's all going to be so freaking scary. Now, talking about how far crypto is. By the way, guys, if you haven't done it yet, make sure you press that freaking like button. And let's quickly see. I think we have... Yes, guys, we have now officially on Social Blade crossed 95,000 subscribers. Little quick thank you to everybody watching the stream. You guys are amazing. Make sure you celebrate by smashing that like button, as I just said. This is a freaking crazy milestone. Woo! I just want to... Oh, I'm psyched up. Just to be completely honest with you, I am very freaking psyched up. We're gonna do some crazy stuff at 100k subs. Ilian, he's saying giveaway. I didn't prepare for it today. I actually didn't expect us to hit it just quite yet, so I wasn't prepared. But we're gonna do some cool stuff at 100,000. So that is definitely gonna be coming. I'm also trying to prepare some interviews to get the show a little bit more interesting as well, as you guys have been requesting that. A couple of interviews here and there. They are coming up. I've been talking about them, but I haven't gotten anything conclusive just quite yet. But once more, make sure you smash that like button. And if you haven't done it already, make sure you press the subscribe button too. Now, I've told you guys my whole story here about why XRP going, for example, times 240 is not even that difficult. Let me quickly maybe change... Okay, let me quickly change the title. Ripple XRP. This. Let me quickly change the title here. Price. Great opportunity. Can price go times 244 to Okay, I have to quickly change the title of the video because I think some people might, once they come in now, be confused as to what is going on. We basically just said this guy here expects the crypto market to surge like by 500 times. We are kind of expecting like times 240 would be quite simple. 240 basically being for XRP to get back to its higher percentage of market cap, which is about 17. Let's say it's about times 6 from where it is right now. Now, if we also compare that to the fact that to get to that market cap, we have to go times 50, for example, that would basically make it like times 50 times 6 is times 300 for XRP, right? So the XRP price goes times 300, but that depends a little bit on, you could also say this is about to go times 40. It's in the middle, right? Times 45-ish. So that is also why I'm thinking that's about our good number. XRP times 240, maybe, 300. It's not even that difficult. If you don't think crypto is going to a 100 or even $200 trillion market cap, because $200 trillion, I think that's so simple. I just think we're not, our mind isn't programmed enough to comprehend it just quite yet. Same thing as if in these points here, when we were at 2 billion, that you couldn't comprehend a market of $2 trillion for these funny little cryptos. But the fact is, and you got to kind of accept that just now, this technology is here to stay. It ain't going no motherfucking where. And if you can't accept it, that's fine. But don't think a lot of other people can't. And they're going to get one step up on you now by getting into one of the greatest opportunities of wealth of our generation. Mind that, all right? Keep it in your mind very freaking well. This is going to be one of the greatest opportunities in our lifetimes to make easy, fast, and a lot of freaking money. People who don't become millionaires off of crypto, they most likely didn't play this game very well. I'm not saying you should become a millionaire right today. Not even saying you should become it this year. But if you don't become a millionaire off of crypto, I'm talking a couple years from now, maybe 5 years, who knows? You're most likely playing a little bit of a strange game. Because right now we're just at 2 trillion, as I just said. We can easily times 100, for example, money in the next couple of years. If you just keep investing a little bit on the side here, a little bit of your money, some people might not have that much, but most likely you can still put a couple dollars a month away. If you just put into crypto instead of, for example, a freaking mutual fund, oh damn, is that going to get you a huge ROI? Hey guys, make sure you never put your XRP amount in the comment section, and make sure you smash that freaking like button. I want to get to 500 likes. It's a pretty good day. It's a really cool day from the perspective that we hit a pretty cool milestone, right? We hit 95k subs. So once more, make sure you press that freaking like button to help out just a little bit. Then, insurance giant AXA starts accepting Bitcoin payments. You know, to be honest, the only reason I am putting this up here is because this also makes you realize we have just started. Think about it for yourself right now. Where can you spend your XRP? If you wanted to right now, you have $100 million. You want to buy a house, you want to buy everything. Can you do that really easily? Well, I mean, if you have a card and you can, for example, transfer that crypto to dollars again, it's going to be simple. A lot of these cards, for example, change it over to dollars real quick, okay? But what if you do not want to leave the cryptoverse? And I'm so sorry if the stream is a little bit laggy. I'm not sure what is happening with that. I just resetted my computer, but still, sometimes it's the way it goes. If you want to stay completely into crypto, can you do all of that stuff? Can you, for example, pay your freaking taxes in crypto just now? I don't think so. I don't think so. And by the way, quick shout out to Kig and M. Azam for the 2 donations. Kig, I didn't forget you. I was just busy with my story for a little second, but thank you so much, man. And M. Azam also coming in. Thank you so much. I don't think so. You can't pay your taxes just like that. Here's another good example. Things are just starting to roll. These balls are just starting to roll. And these payments and whatnot, they're just starting out. It's not far at all just quite yet, guys. It is not far at all. The majority of things you cannot buy with crypto just quite yet. It's going to take some time for it to get there. But once it gets there, it'll be too late. Who of you, let's see. I want to ask about Doge, but then again, I don't really want to. Are you guys holding XRP? Yes or no? Let me quickly know in the comment section. Are you guys holding it? Don't put how many coins you got. Just let me know if you are a hodler or no. Hey, MS, he says, hi, Dustman. Welcome back, man. Welcome back to the chat box. So again, this article is mostly just to prove to you that picture or that idea that, once more, it's the way it usually goes, right? Let's just put it like that. It's the way it usually goes. These technologies get accepted right now. There's going to be some pioneers. There's going to be some latecomers. These guys are all kind of quote-unquote pioneers still for accepting crypto really at one of the earliest points. You guys are all saying yes. Hey, everybody's saying yes. Somebody says, no, I don't know where to buy. If you're in the US, I would say uphold, bitrue. Those work. The majority of the people are saying yes, though. Of course. That is, again, I'm not saying that's nice. None of this is financial advice. Hey, rhymes. But, I mean, that's, in my opinion, pretty cool. But, yeah, I think as time moves on here, as the weeks go by, as the months go by, more and more of these big players will come in. And again, mind you, it's not only that. It's also these ETFs, for example. There's not even a freaking Bitcoin ETF. And there haven't even been talks of an XRP ETF. There haven't even been talks about them. We have, for example, one part, I don't know if I have it open anymore, where, for example, XRP got listed here. If you missed it, Europe's largest digital asset investment firm, CoinShares, announced the launch of a new XRP ETP, CoinShares Physical XRP. It'll be listed on 6. Thanks, Quant Zerpula, for the heads up. Well, we knew about this a couple days ago. I talked to you guys, obviously, the moment it came out. But it does show something once more, all right? This is a picture which you kind of got to have in the back of your head. The picture basically shows XRP is getting places. Even though they're being sued right now, that's only in the US, but they're getting places regardless. And once they got this clarity, I believe the adoption will go 7 times as fast as kind of a baseline. I think it will be 50 times as fast, but let's just put 7 times as fast as kind of a baseline for how quick the adoption is going to be. It's just kind of like funny. Like, this is a big deal right now. Eventually, it'll be like, oh, again, another firm listed them or another exchange. Okay. And that's the fun thing as well with these altcoin gems. If an altcoin gem that you got gets listed on an exchange, it's like, oh, yes, wow, damn. If XRP gets listed to an exchange, it's like, okay, that's cool because it already has a lot of exchanges, right? Now, the only thing that isn't really that popular are that these types of special exchanges, these types of special things. But as time moves on, they're just going to keep increasing, keep going crazier. And it's going to be just the norm. But think about it then. All this stuff is so freaking crazy at this point. And again, there haven't even been talks of an XRP ETF. That shows you once more how infant it all is. Also, guys, have you been thinking here about the comparison between XRP and Doge? I'm not saying, you should, but I mean, it is interesting. I was talking about it yesterday, huh? it is interesting if you start to look at it and how similar they are. It is quite similar. It is quite funny. At least I thought it was quite funny to look at. And how he can get quite an interesting surge going on if you just kind of compare the two to each other and how they're performing here. It's pretty funny in my opinion. What do you guys think about this? Okay, let me ask the question differently. Do you guys think that within the next couple of weeks, XRP will pump out of proportion, just go completely crazy? What do you guys think about that? Like just following Doge, basically following this pattern, following kind of the same footpath. I will tell you guys about the lawsuit in just a second. I'm going to make a video on that later tonight as the date is coming up really close here. We have 2 more days. So I will make a video explaining exactly what is going to happen on the 19th as well. But you guys are saying yes. All right. Yeah, I would say as well, if you're just looking at this from a perspective of does it look alike, I would say definitely so. Does this mean XRP is going to pump to the same degree? Definitely not. Will we like it though? Yeah, that's a different thing. I mean, pumping like this is definitely great, crazy to see, definitely really nice. But then again, the more pumps like this that you see, the less serious people will take your project. Monkey Child here says, Charles Hoskinson said Doge is pet rock of the crypto industry. Found that to be very funny. Yeah, I see your joke. It's not the same way, I think, because a pet rock literally does nothing. I guess you can throw it away. A Doge, I mean, it has a use case but it's a meme coin. You can still transact it. You can still do stuff with it. It's just really not that practical, not really that useful, but it's possible. And with a pet rock, yeah, I mean, you can't do too much with a pet rock. You can do some stuff. Hey guys, if you haven't done so already, I'm going to quickly shout that out a little bit again. Make sure you press that freaking subscribe button. We are so close to 100,000, and everybody involved in this XRP, Dusty BC, whatever army, I will reward quite a lot of you guys, all right? I'm just quickly saying that. There will be so many cool things happening. You'll be greatly rewarded, hopefully. All right, let's see what else we got here. Robert Art posted, when the noobs flock into XRP and ask you, is 589 a realistic target? I want you to look them dead in the eye, grab them by the shoulders and say, I don't see why it can't hit $60,000 like Bitcoin. Then we dump on them at $7 and $13 and maybe $17. So I'm assuming that this guy is basically just joking around here, stating that there's a lot of people who ask, can 589 happen? And if you don't know what 589 XRP is from, it's basically this guy, Bearable Guy 123, really back in the day, I believe like 2018, maybe even earlier, came over to Twitter, Reddit, basically everywhere, and started to do riddles, where there's basically a bear and everything. This castle is a really thing that kept coming back. It's basically just riddles, right? Riddles. And the XRP price would go to $589 somewhere within 2018. I believe even that they said in 2018, XRP price is going to be $589 per coin. And I'm really unsure why sometimes the stream is a little bit laggy. Like, I see it now with 0 KB per second, but why exactly that's the case, I wouldn't know. So if the stream were to ever just quit out completely, you know that it's the freaking software doing some crazy, shady stuff. All right, so you guys just quickly know that is the software doing some really shady stuff right here. That's also why we don't have that many viewers today, because the software keeps going out, and every time it does, like 100 or 200 people go out. You guys are all saying F? Yeah, it's freaking annoying, guys. Sometimes the live stream just doesn't work that properly. I don't know exactly what it is. Are we out completely? Let me quickly know, guys. Are we still live? Are you guys still seeing it? Let me quickly open it up on my own phone. Yeah, I think so. Are we still live, guys? Can you still see it? Let me quickly know in the chat box. Because we just dropped like 200 viewers, but I'm not sure if we are still here. I'm just checking the chat right now. You guys are saying yes. All right, perfect. Let's also get to 500 likes. We're almost there, guys. Make sure you press that like button just to help out real quick. Yeah, so the Bearable Guy 123 is basically a very big meme. But then again, he's also not a meme because a lot of people believe in it. And the believe is basically a lot of these guys thinking in gematria, where they say, okay, XRP, for example, if you put that code into, the gematria kind of number decoder, it gets to a certain number. If you put another name or something like that into the gematria, number verification thing, it comes to the same number, and people put connections there. Some people also do this with the Simpsons. Some people also do this with the Great Reset. Some people also do this with the Economic Forum. Everything like that. They basically just attach things, and people thought, $500 per XP would then be possible because of all of that. Now, a lot of those guys, though, they don't really think realistically. They just think, okay, people said that, so it might happen. In my opinion, you should never just assume that a price can happen because somebody else said so. You got to kind of be able to justify it in the back of your head, too. If you don't think it's going to happen, you're wondering if it really could, you're on the wrong page, you're on the wrong path. I firmly believe you should believe in it the most out of everybody else, and people should ask you if you think it's possible. If you don't know if it is, then don't even expect it to happen. Hey, I see Barry Strong, thank you for the $1.50, coming in with the trees once more, as always. Barry Strong is always strong. Like that, I like that. But yeah, so if somebody else tells you, you know what, $60,000 per XRP like Bitcoin is possible, we obviously know $60,000 per XRP, that is not within range. That's not something we're waiting for. That's not something we're hoping for. That is just insane, crazy. I don't really think that's anything. That's not something on my path. But if we're talking, for example, $20 per XRP, that type of stuff, for example, as a start, I'm never disagreeing with somebody who says $20 is possible. I'm never. And I would also always laugh at somebody who says $20 per XP isn't possible. But then again, I always laugh at people as well who say $100 per XP isn't possible, because I believe their vision is not broad enough. They have a really constrictive kind of mind here, and they're focused on what's really in front of them, what they can touch and whatnot. But crypto ain't that. Crypto mostly is stuff you cannot touch, cannot see, cannot really fully understand, cannot really fully grasp because of how big it's going to get, how adopted it's going to get, and how it's going to change everything. It's the same thing for a lot of these .com companies. Back then, it keeps happening. I don't think many people thought that Apple, for example, would become a multi-trillion-dollar company, nor that companies would ever get to $1 trillion, nor that a loaf of bread, for example, might even turn out to be $3.50, right? Maybe back at the time it was, for example, 20 cents. Now, sometimes a loaf of bread can even cost you $4. You can even buy a loaf of bread, if you go for a really right one, for $5. If you go to the right place, you can even buy it for more expensive. If you want a little piece of bread with a freaking little meat, hammy thing slapped on top, boom. Sometimes you might pick up a couple dollars for it, but even a freaking coffee. Some people sell that for $7. If you tell that to my grandma, that somebody right now is selling a coffee for $7, maybe even $9 on a crazy Starbucks like that, she would really just flip the frick out, all right? She can't see it anymore, but I'm just quickly saying here, guys, it's stuff you cannot really fathom. If you're just thinking, for example, 80 years ago, it's impossible to really fathom how crazy things can get, how these prices are going to change. And I personally believe that a lot of you guys who are wondering if, for example, $50, $80, whatever per XP is possible, are also not getting this idea through properly. That you might have a more restricted mind than you should have. Let it freaking go. Let it freaking open. $17 per XP. If you want to sell there, okay, pretty fine. It's still a low target in my opinion. It's still a low target because I know where crypto is about to head. Will we go there in the first cycle though? That is a question you might ask yourself. When are we going to hit a certain price? That is a good question. Because it could be that, for example, within 2021, within 2022, we're going to only hit, and I'm saying only here, really on purpose, only hit, for example, $12, $17 per XP. That type of stuff is really possible. That within this market cycle, that is the highest we'll see. But that does not mean that once we correct again, Bitcoin starts to pick back up, altcoins start to pick back up, that we wouldn't be able to see, for example, $80, $90, $100 per XP. I still firmly believe that this is possible, that this can happen. Let's once more go over the freaking math for you guys. For all the people who are still looking at me like I'm stupid, XRP in the past had about, let's say, 18% market domination, which basically means, since right now it's about 3, XRP's market cap was 6 times the amount relatively of the total than it is right now. And I still firmly believe XRP could get that again. That basically means XRP right as of this point has 6 times the amount of market cap, which also means 6 times the price. Now just simply put like that, $1.61 times 6, just once more as kind of a start, is about $9.66. If you don't think that's possible, get out. If you think $10 per XP is impossible, better get out the stream because you're really not on the same path here. We're not on the same page at all. We can agree to disagree, but then you're not really following my flow either. And I think you have too restrictive of a mindset to really comprehend crypto as a whole. It is really firmly possible, 100%. When is it going to happen? That is a good question. I think we could have a lot of this stuff happen pretty soon because, well, for example, within a couple of days here, the price could go up because of the lawsuit, right? We have, for example, 2 days from now, the lawsuit. We have John Deaton's motion to intervene coming up here in 2 days. I'm going to make a separate video later today explaining more so about what my thoughts were. I still agree with my thoughts from back here as we're still moving upwards. But then again, I also said before, it's going to mostly depend on Bitcoin. And Bitcoin right now is actually breaking through a little bit. We're still hoping it's not going to make a lower low. But that is basically for Bitcoin to drop below this level here. Still, if it breaks this one, we're still not going full panic mode. Once it crosses this one, though, it's a little bit of caution, right? Once it crosses below $50,000. Then we're going to have to watch it really closely and think for a second as to what is happening. For right now, though, we're still within margin. We're still within range, I would say. By the way, if you're looking for a good place to trade Bitcoin, trade XRP, trade all of that, Bybit is my preferred place right now. It's going really, really beautifully. Let me say it like that. I'm using it like freaking, like it's my I don't know, my I don't even know what to call it. I'm just I dropped something. I'm using it all day. I've been here all day, most of the day actually. And I kind of got addicted to it. Just the trading is so easy, it's so fun. And throughout these days, there's so much profit because crypto markets are doing well. We take the dips almost every single time. It is so ridiculously simple. I keep teaching people how to do this over on Patreon. If you haven't known about my Patreon yet, go check it out. Links down below. It's so freaking simple, but you just have to get the mindset straight. Miguel says, are you able to stake XRP? If so, where and how? So there's a couple of options. There's, for example, one newer option which came into play a couple days ago with the whole, what is the freaking abbreviation? Wave, maybe? Something with a W. I kind of forgot what the exact name of it was. Maybe Wave, something like that. I don't personally use that. The only thing I'm using is bitrue. To just lock up your XRP, get a return on that for just having XRP. It is freaking simple, guys. It is so freaking simple. It is freaking free money. I don't know why people wouldn't use that. If you don't know, a link is down below for that. Also, guys, if you haven't done it already, make sure you press that freaking like button. Let's get to 500 likes right now. It's so simple. If you just press that little button, help a brother out here. I just think it helps a little bit with the YouTube algorithm, so why not? Let me quickly see if you guys are writing anything else. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So another thing I guess I should also say here is, you know how often I see people say, oh, but Dusty, you got into crypto early, you're lucky. Or, oh, if only I put money in back then. And I always point to the same examples. One of them clearly is VeChain. Could you get into VeChain early? Oh, yes, you could. If you entered crypto last week, you could have gotten a crazy return on VeChain. It's just one simple thing already. It's one simple freaking thing. If you got into VeChain last week, you know the amount of money you would have made already. It's insane. Now, here is the last time we bought VeChain. Once more with the tips I give over in Patreon. This is why we bought right over there at about 17 cents for VET. We got ourselves a pretty huge return because it went to 27 cents or so. But yeah, basically the majority of my VET, if you watch my videos, you know, the majority of my VET was bought at about 0.003 or 0.002, around that area. It's ridiculous. So I'm kind of set for life in terms of VET. I don't need any more. I'm really comfortable. However, I sometimes still buy because I want to make some quick trades, make some quick money on this. And Keon says, I don't read the chat. Of course I read the chat. And he says, Dusty, are you paid by Brad Garlinghouse to say all this stuff? If you think so, I think you're a little bit, crazy. But I wish, but no. If I was, that would be a really nice day. I would be really happy, but I'm definitely not. I think the majority of the people would understand that, though. In the end of things, all we are is just people seeing this great opportunity to make a lot of money. And that's really basically what it comes down to. We are a couple of people, let's say the first 1%, who can see through the charade and understand that crypto is going to the moon. And it's not only about freaking Doge, like a lot of these news sources are making it out to be. No, there's really a big ecosystem going on behind it, which just has the potential, and in my opinion, has the forecast to just grow. People ask what's the lowest it can go today. That stuff I can never answer. I don't know what the lowest is for us to go to. Somebody says, why is it possible for XP to hit 1,000? Because people would sell it once it reaches $10. That's the same thing as saying, oh, Bitcoin can't hit 1,000 because, oh, people would sell it at 100. Oh, Bitcoin can't hit 100,000. Bitcoin can't hit 1 million because people would sell it at 100,000. That type of mindset, once more, is so restrictive. If you have that, that's stopping you from really reaching full potential. Trust me when I say that. You shouldn't think, oh, it can't happen because this, that. No. Crypto is something completely new. People don't know how big it's going to get. People don't know how heavily this stuff is going to get adopted and don't know how it's going to disrupt other markets. So saying it can't happen because of that doesn't work for me. It's BS. It's just placed in your own head. And it doesn't matter what crypto you pick here. There's XRP, for example, we know almost for a fact because of the utility. But VeChain is another one. Freaking good of a crypto, in my opinion. It has utility, proven utility. But then again, you might call a couple other ones which you like. ADA, for example, has a good bet to make it big. Even Ethereum. I am not really an Ethereum maxi because I think Ethereum is kind of dumb in the way that it's freaking congested, really expensive to use. But then again, it has a lot of potential in the sense that it's going to grow still, I think. Right? Once more, unless maybe like a Polkadot or an ADA or a Binance Smart Chain or quite a lot of these other guys take it over, which I definitely think is possible. It still is the biggest platform right now. I mean, it has potential. And if you don't think Ethereum, for example, can go to 10,000, it's really funny. Look back a couple of weeks ago. I was saying in videos, I was shouting, Ethereum $2,500 is going to happen. You know how many skeptics we got? People saying, no, it's never going to happen. Ethereum at $1,500 or $1,400 is the maximum, for example. And people, oh, it's going to go down now. Or even with XRP. We went to 60 cents and then 75. People said, this is the highest we go. Look back on my freaking YouTube channel. We had a little community post on there where I said 75 cents. You know, people said, oh, it's back down now. They laugh at you. They find that funny. They want it to happen. People want to see it fail. I don't know why, but a lot of people have this mindset of just either hating on other cryptos or something along those lines. They just do not want to see you do good. They don't want to see these cryptos win. They want to hate on XP. So one thing we posted was this one. But before that, like a week ago, I posted XP hits 75 cents. And if you check through here, you'll see quite a lot of people say, oh, it went down now. For example, let's just quickly see. VeChain here, 1 week ago, just hit 10 cents. You could have bought, definitely so, but people think it's too high. Okay, well, I don't think so, but all right. If you scroll through here, let's quickly see. Justified. If you don't hold XP, then you stay calm for the rest of us. Let's quickly see here. It's not the type of news I want to wake up to. But then again, this is freaking a week ago. Could have bought a week ago, made a lot of money right now. Could have easily doubled your money. Somebody says, calm down. Let's quickly see why he said that. XRP does moon the fastest and hardest. Do not underestimate. What I also should say about that one is, once XRP goes, it is mostly after a lot of other cryptos have gone. Look here. 7 likes on this one as well. It's back down. Relax. Okay, we are very relaxed. But we know the bigger picture. We know. Huh. Okay, let's quickly see this one. This is a really heavy one, I guess, because this guy is really hateful. Mark Smith. He has actually edited his thing, maybe because he knows. Just, you're so self-conscious, okay? Oh, wow, 0.75. That's like 21% off its all-time high. Sounds like an awesome investment for the people that held for months through the parabolic dump from 0.9 to its rise back. These guys' numbers are messed up, but okay. Back up to the SEC dump down to sub 0.15 to another huge pump and dump, and now finally to 0.75, only 80% more to go to its all-time high. How long will this bull market last? When will the SEC stuff be resolved? And will XRP actually win? Easy answer to you guys. I personally think XRP/Ripple will win the lawsuit. I personally do think so. Moving on though, but the time all those questions are answered, Bitcoin run may be over and thus XRP's. And if you're delusional enough to think that XRP is still gonna go parabolic after Bitcoin enters its downtrend, then you're so unbelievably clueless about how these crypto cycles work, it's pathetic. And one thing I should intervene here and say, I personally believe if XRP fixes its lawsuit in a Bitcoin bear cycle, it'll still pump like crazy. It'll still have a really crazy day, a couple of days, because it's finally got the clarity, and it's still just a lot of people who will speculate on it and buy it like mad. But then again, just from a fundamental perspective here once more, I think this could all be fixed while Bitcoin is still in the bullish run. So it's also kind of a negative thing he's feeling, but all right. Sure, you'll get a parabolic alt season for a little bit, maybe a month max, after Bitcoin dominance goes way down. But if XRP goes into that price like 150, which is very generous, stupid ass, and let's say it goes to $10, which again is very generous, then that is pathetic gains compared to like every single other coin in the top 50. If you just dumped XRP and bought one of those when this SEC thing started, think about that. If from here it goes to $10 measured from where the SEC thing began, that's absolutely nothing compared to what some of those other coins have already done and will keep gaining while XRP is suppressed. Give me a damn break. And keep in mind, $10 is a very bullish price for XRP despite what's being shilled. Compare this to if you had just bought literally any other coin in the top 50, you'd be up hundreds of percent. God, the XP community is delusional. I think this guy is just hateful. Maybe he sold his XP too early and he hates himself now because he sold it, and now he even edited it because he saw XP being up higher. He's like, damn, ooh. Because my vision about this is, yeah, you can, oh, this is really bright. Should we put the dark mode, guys, or light mode? Let's quickly see. Because what I'm thinking here, and I will always stay that way, is you could always have said, oh, if only I bought that crypto. That's the same thing for VeChain. Yeah, VeChain outperformed. VeChain went completely crazy. Okay, if only you bought that. You don't know. You don't know. So that is not a good argument. I would also say it's about the coin itself. What is the percentage looking like? And I think the percentage for XRP could be really insane. If it goes to $10 from 0.11 that it hit in March, that's really crazy. You might think, okay, VeChain has outperformed it because it went from 0. Whatever to the all-time high now. Let's quickly see. VeChain might have outperformed it because it went to like 23,000% or something like that. Or let's see here, 4,000, 5,000%, for example. No, even more. Let's quickly see the low point. Yeah, maybe like, what's the lowest, what's the most it went? Maybe like this, something. That is from, now this is a little bit too low. That's 0.008. Let's, it's a little bit annoying to get this in our frame. Let's, take about here. Yeah, that's good. To the high, we can't even reach the high. Okay, let's just say it's right on this here. No, it's even more than that. Okay, I'm freaking stupid here, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go price range, start at the bottom, go towards the top, and try to fix ourselves the bottom a little bit, like maybe like right around there. So 10,000%, for example, is what VeChain did. If you compare that to your gains right now, you're gonna only make yourself a little bit mad. It's about what it can freaking do. You guys are all saying dark mode. If you want dark mode, make sure you press the like button right now. Then I'll switch it over if we hit 1,000 likes. We have 1,500 people watching, and there's already 500 likes pressed, so we can easily get there. If you press the like button right now, we get to 1,000. I'm gonna instantly turn on dark mode for all of you, because I got you. All right. Let's quickly see who actually wants it. But I think the story is straight, right? Though, guys, it's just really obvious that XRP is here to stay, and even if it goes to $10, if we take that from where it was in March of last year, let's quickly actually check in terms of percentages. Let's see if this guy was actually really right or kind of wrong. So, for example, March of 2020, which is my point of measuring most of the time. It's right here. It went to about 11 cents. Let's take that to the high right now. That is about 1,600%. Okay, but let's take this a little bit further because he said $10. Okay, let's take it. Let's take it. So XRP going to $10 from VeChain, for example, going to price, which is at right now. Look at that. That's still about 9,000% gains, though. That is still, guys, 9,000%. So, okay, VeChain did just a little bit better. Okay, because it did how much? 10,000%. But that's, I mean, if it goes to $10, it's kind of the same as VeChain, this meteoric rise. It's just VeChain did a little bit earlier before XRP did, but I still think it will happen. Okay, a lot of you guys are asking, what about Gary Gensler? I think a couple of things about Gary. One, somebody says I'm listening, not watching. Okay, I was just measuring the XRP price, basically, in comparison to VeChain. VeChain did plus 10,000% from its lowest point in 2022 right now, and XRP is up, I don't know how much, but if it goes to $10, it is about 8,000% or 9,000 in comparison to the 10,000 VeChain already has done. But that just, to me, shows VeChain has already gotten its gains. XRP has a little bit more room to grow here over the next couple of weeks to kind of get to the same type of point. Now, let's talk a little bit about Gary Gensler. Once more, guys, if we hit 1,000 likes, I'm putting that dark mode on. People are saying Doge is pissing me off. Are you guys Doge holders? All right. So what I think about Gary Gensler is he is an individual who knows about crypto. He knows about the crypto space. He knows about XP, he knows about Bitcoin, he knows about all of that stuff. So if you know about it from that perspective, then what can he do if he comes in as the SEC chairman? Well, what he could do is give us a clear rule book about cryptos, about Bitcoin Ether, for example. make the information about Bitcoin Ether public because he knows it inherently. He can give that information out and explain to us why those are not securities. If we get that information, we might be able to relate why Ethereum is not a security to XRP, and that again might be a really bullish thing. Okay, guys, you know what? I'll put the target a little bit lower. If we get to 700 likes, 750, I'll put dark mode on. Just quickly get there. Just make sure you press the like button. We'll go to dark mode right now. I already got you guys, all right? I know you're gonna, I trust you to press the like button. So yeah, Gary Gensler has a lot of really good points in that sense. Aren't you guys also following me on that page? I mean, yeah, he might be the least corrupt out of all those motherfrickers, where a lot of those guys are, in my opinion, really not to be trusted. For example, what's his name? Jay Clayton, William Hinman. I don't trust those guys too much. I don't trust them to be completely honest with whatever they've done. I don't think they gave us all the information. So I'm sincerely hoping that once Gary Gensler comes in, we'll get at least the truth from him, at least the actual information from him. That's just kind of what I'm thinking, like that he will basically get that fixed, right? That he at least give us the honest information about the whole situation. I don't know, that's just my thoughts about it. But then in the end of things, man, even if Gary Gensler were to come, if he were to come, it don't matter too much. In the end, it's not going to really change anything like that drastically. It would only be so if he were to really go from the SEC's perspective and put a real framework for crypto out there, or really go to this lawsuit and be like, no, we have to fix this. But I don't necessarily think so. So yeah, whatever, guys. It doesn't matter too much. I think it's gonna be nice for crypto. Little story here. Bitcoin Will sold 50,000 Bitcoin worth $3 billion in the last 5 days. Bitcoin Wills have sold roughly 50,000 Bitcoin in the last 5 days. And some people will make this really negative. I would consider it to be really fine. It just depends on what is basically happening in the bigger picture of things. Are the whales only selling and the small guys only buying? That might be a little bit bearish. Might also mean newer generation. Are the whales selling but the whales also buying? Then this makes no freaking sense. It doesn't really mean a good argument. Make a good argument. So Bitcoin whales have sold roughly 50,000 BTC over the last 5 days. This amount translates to roughly $3 billion. That's a lot of money, yes. The Bitcoin whales include those holding 100 to 10,000 Bitcoin. Bitcoin has entered what looks like a brief bearish window, with 60,000 continuing to hold. A breakdown of 60,000 could lead to accelerated of selling and lower levels of support. Bitcoin whales holding 100 to 10,000 Bitcoin have collectively sold 50,000 Bitcoin in the last 5 days. This amount of Bitcoin translates to roughly $3 billion, using the value of 61K. The selling by whales was captured by the team Sentiment through the following statement and accompanying chart demonstrating the 50K Bitcoin reduction in their collective holdings. So that is, again, where kind of facts come in. Their holdings, again, of all these whales with these big guys with big money, has reduced by 50,000 Bitcoin. Damn. I see Crawfish saying, heard that 3 years ago, XRP is a shitcoin. Now I'm hearing Doge is trash. Don't buy it. Keep your shit talk thinking away. People are missing out due to the mess up. Stop loving coins, love money. I would say in this sense, don't ever think a coin is completely crap or stupid purely because people are hating on it or because it doesn't really reflect what usually would go well. Very often, things just go up even though you wouldn't expect them to. For example, Doge is a really good one. People just say, oh, it's stupid, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean it can't go up in price. It might be stupid from a fundamental perspective, or it might not be a serious coin, okay? But we don't know what really works well in the space of crypto. Okay, quote, Bitcoin's million addresses holding 6.1 million to $610 million in value currently have shed about 50,000 Bitcoin collectively in the past 5 days. Crypto's number one asset has seen increased volatility, but has remained above 60K since April 10th. Okay, so that's basically what's going on. A lot of these Bitcoin millionaires are taking off. Maybe they're selling. Maybe they're moving. We don't really know. Because this basically just means these guys with big addresses have split up their money. It could also be if you are a guy with, for example, $100 million and you split that up into, let's say, 100 bags, all of a sudden you're out of this category. Bitcoin's ascending triangle broke down. 60K is now support. Yesterday, the king of crypto dipped to a local low of 60K after news broke out of the Turkish central bank banning all crypto being used as a form of payment. We covered that, I think, 2 days ago in a stream. However, Bitcoin soon bounced back to post a local high of 62,500 earlier today. In the process of recovering from the sell-off, Bitcoin formed a rising wedge pattern that broke down, as can be seen in the chart below. From the chart, it can be observed that Bitcoin, and once more, if this happens, something bearish like that to Bitcoin, it usually means the same fate for altcoins. From the chart, it can be observed that Bitcoin is once again in bearish territory, with the $60,000 price area acting as macro support as the weekly close inches closer. Furthermore, the 50 white and 200 green moving averages in the hourly chart above seem destined to print a death cross in the hours to follow. The red trade volume also confirms the selling environment, with the 1-hour MFI and RSI reinforcing the same. If Bitcoin can once again bounce off the 60K price level, it would print a double bottom that could propel to new heights, setting basically a new all-time high. Before we move on, let's quickly see. We right now are still above $60,000. We are at about 60,650. But let's also, I guess, zoom. Oh, no, we can also see it here. The low we've hit today is about, here you can see it. The low we've hit today is about 59,676. However, we should now observe on what type of time frame this has actually been hit and how long we stayed there, basically. So in this case, you can see below $60,000 is right here. We've basically only been below that for 2 hours, where we basically dipped in one candle, came up in the other one. If it's on a 4-hour perspective, we've only been in there for one period, I think, right? We've only dipped below there once. So in my opinion, that does not reflect us actually breaking through 60,000. It's just basically a retest of this barrier. It might still be exactly like they said just now, a double bottom. However, if the bearish momentum is sustained between now and the next week, Bitcoin could be facing a continuation of the bearish scenario, with the following areas offering additional short momentum support or short-term support: 59.3, 58.8, 58, 57.3, 56.5, 56. I would say one of the most important ones to watch is just this low, basically, at about $50,000 or $55,000 to start. But then again, the most important one is going to be right around here at about 50,000. Also, a really big psychological barrier, obviously. So that's going to be one to really watch out for. It's about 50,400 though, to be completely correct on that one. Yeah. Ethereum still going good. I mean, generally speaking, most altcoins here are still doing pretty okay. I guess the crypto total market cap has really fallen down, huh? So for example, here is the total market cap. Yesterday we hit, oh, this is altcoins, I mean, so not Bitcoin, 1.119 trillion. Right now we are back down to about 1.07, still holding above $1 trillion though in terms of market cap. In that sense, we're still doing pretty damn good. Total market cap, let's quickly check that out. We have hit about $2.3 trillion right now, back to about 2.15. Not too bad. Not too bad. We're still above $2 trillion. Nothing has really changed if you were to ask me. Not too much has basically changed. Oh, by the way, I see a lot of people ask me, should I sell my XRP for Doge? Don't ask me that question. If you think Doge is going to go crazy again because of an Elon Musk tweet or something like that, might be a really smart decision. If you're looking for a coin for the longer term because it's just fundamentally really good, Doge ain't your bet. But then again, I am not saying it can't pump like crazy, but keep in mind, it could also dump like crazy. If I could trade Doge on Bybit, I would be trading it all the time. I would, because it's really volatile and it's really fun. But I'm mostly just trading XRP and a little bit of Bitcoin on here. And also, I always do inverse perpetuals, not USDT perpetuals, but that's just me. Right, doing it the freaking normal way, it's also fine. I personally like trading XRP because you can make money in XRP. You know, you guys see what I'm saying? Like, that's the easiest way for me. Because if I'm betting with my crypto, I make crypto for it. But yeah, by going all into Doge, you are making a little bit of a risk for yourself, right? It's not a 1-to-1 plan. it's a little bit of a scary move. Let's put it like that. I wouldn't try that with a house, for example. If I were to sell my house, I could definitely put a little bit of it into XRP. I wouldn't be too afraid. If I were to go for Dogecoin like that, I would be quite scared, not gonna lie. By the way, guys, we're almost at 100,000 subs. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to be notified every time we upload another banger like this. Ooh. And if you're wondering what coins I'm holding, there's a Patreon for that. If you're wondering what exchanges I'm using. Okay, let me quickly sum it up. For XRP, I'm, for the buying, mostly going for Binance and bitrue. If you're in the US, you cannot use Binance, so I would recommend bitrue. A lot of people use Uphold too. For leverage trading, I solely use Bybit. Really, sometimes I still use Prime XBT though. Very sometimes here and there I still use that one, but mostly Bybit. Specifically XRP and Bitcoin I go for it the most, and that is that. For staking, I use Binance and bitrue as well, because on bitrue you can stake the XRP, and on Binance you can stake a lot of other coins, which I go for on there. For some coins, I actually use Exodus to stake, and I also use Binance a little bit as a wallet, blockchain.com a little bit as a wallet, Ledgers as wallets, as you guys know, which is the harder one. I have never used Trezor, so I wouldn't even know how to install it properly, how it works. Not sure. And I also would say, yeah, it's just, I like Ledger. I've been with them since the start. I just know it works like a charm. But in Europe, it's a lot easier to buy XP right now than in America. Just quickly saying that. Most exchanges just sell it anyway. Football says, just to give you a reply to my comment, Patreon, it's in the comment section. Yes, I will definitely try that. There's quite a lot of DMs, but if you made a comment on a post, I would definitely check that out just now and reply to you, depending on... I don't know if you said, what do you know about Blink? I don't know if that was you. Somebody said, what do you know about Blink? But I have no idea about Blink. I've never heard about that crypto. Louis says, hello from Colombia. All right, for me right now, it is 9:30 p.m. What time is it for you guys, or where are you guys at? What area are you guys watching from right now? So sponsored by Bybit? It's not even sponsored by Bybit. If it's sponsored, I'll tell you this video is sponsored by, but it's not. It's literally just the platform I'm using, and it's working like a charm. The reason I'm actually saying it, of course, if you trade using my link, there's a commission, obviously. But in the end, it's mostly because this is what I've said in one of the first live streams too, I have discussed with them for so long to get a cool trading competition going on for only people that use my link. That's basically so, with Bybit, the people who use your link to sign up are eligible for a your link only trading competition. And I don't know exactly what date it's going to start. I hope in a couple of days from now. I don't really know. I think it's going to be a couple of days. But that basically means everybody who uses my link can get some crazy things going on. And that's basically what I was kind of excited about. You know what I mean? Like, I've been discussing with that for so long, or about that. And finally, I got to the right number. I got to the right deal. I got to the right point. And I'm excited to get you guys involved with that too, because I just think if all of you guys, only my subscribers here, can get into a trading giveaway, or basically a trading competition, that's freaking nice, right? It's literally going to be one of you guys or multiple of you guys winning. And we can do Ledger Nanos, we can do money, it can be anything. We can just choose together. So that's basically my point on this one. So yeah. That's why I love it. It's freaking juicy, guys. I just like it myself, but yeah. bitrue can be used in the USA, yes, but they don't have KYC, so it's possible, yes. So also go on this one, dark mode. What wallet should I use in the USA? You can still use a Ledger. It's completely fine. It's really simple. So Ledger is good. Exodus is fine if you want software. If you want hardware, Ledger, software, Exodus. Phone, Exodus works. Otherwise, maybe an exchange just like that if you don't want software nor hardware. How's the lawsuit looking? Still really good. We got a couple days, actually 2 to be completely honest, or completely open, until the motion to intervene is coming up. We should actually start to take away some of these drawings pretty soon here, but this was our previous expectation. It was basically 2 scenarios. Scenario number 1 rolled out, and now we're basically having the same type of thought, where we're basically either going to be going... Let me quickly put it like that. Either going to be going up again until about the 19th, at least that was my expectation, or once more basically retest lower. It's the same thing as always happens, right? You get basically a downward scenario depending on what Bitcoin does. You basically come... let's say the point of starting is it's about the 13th. So that is like this area here. The point of starting is right here. You can basically either continue on with the trend towards the next level, which is about $2.10, maybe even upwards from there in the next couple of days, or you can basically start trending downwards again to newer or older levels, I mean. So for example, right here. Oh, I should quickly put slow mode on. Let me quickly do that, guys. Otherwise people can spam like crazy. All right, I put it on. Anybody know anything about Nexo? I have tried Nexo, but I wasn't too happy with the response that the response team. What do you call it? Like the support team. I wasn't too happy with them. And I'm seeing somebody else. What do you think about Flare? I'm pretty excited about Flare, to be completely honest. I think it's cool. I think it's pretty nice. Then again, I am also mostly into it because I think it's going to making a lot of freaking money, and because we can get the Flare Finance staking thing going on, which I think will make even more money, right? So that's again why I'm pretty much excited about it. If it wasn't the Flare Finance, if it wasn't anything like that, I wouldn't be so excited, to be completely honest. That's a really big part keeping me locked in, happy, I guess. How do I withdraw from what place? Dusty, you don't think Flare Networks will add enough utility to Doge? To be honest, I don't really care about that. I'm not really a Doge maximalist. I'm not really a Doge type of guy. So I don't really personally care if there's going to be utility to Doge. What was that video coin you mentioned? It was just kind of an example of coins which are basically really low, but have a sort of problem that they fix. But then again, they're not really, I guess, mainly adapted just quite yet. It's like an opportunity. Then again, I'm not saying you should take it. I'm just saying there's like an opportunity in there because they're like place number 700 instead of like place number 10, 20, 30, 50 that we usually go for. Kids in Costa says, you were pissed Flare kept so much for themselves. Still am. Still very much am. I still think Flare Networks is really kind of stupid for that part. I still don't think Flare on that note is really good. I think the distribution is really dumb. But I do think that the Flare Finance, the part built on top of it, could be really useful, could make us a lot of money. And so I'm just going to say, okay, thumbs up on that. Dusty, you go Safe Moon? I just got myself some to be safe. No, I don't like Safe Moon. I definitely think that's a kind of pump and dump situation. Can you make money with that? Definitely so, but I'm a little bit afraid of that. I heard H-Bar is a good one. So is VeChain, Theta, XLM, Cardano. But all these have gone way up in price and Bitcoin is running out of steam. I hold all of those. I definitely have all of those. I'm pretty happy with those. Thanks for the tip on Nexo, Dusty. They seem too good to be true. No, to be honest, a lot of people are using them every single day and not having any issues. I just personally didn't have a good response. But the majority of people actually said it's fine. I just personally don't really like it. Archie says, I'm watching you with my VR headset. Whoop, the screen is huge, huh? I've actually never put on a VR headset in my life. Did you know that? I've never done that before. Is VTHO any good? VTHO is basically the gas which VeChain uses. So is it really good? It depends, man. Do you hold IOTA? Yes, I do. Welcome to the shakeout. Obviously, there's a lot of these shakeouts, and it's just for the people to catch on to it and notice that it's happening. We've talked about it quite a lot of times on the channel before, that they want you to sell your coins. They're basically waiting for you here to, oh, that's annoying, to sell them and you know, and basically let loose so they can buy back cheaper. But we're not budging. That's all I'm saying about that one. We are not budging. If you are selling right now, it's completely up to you, but I'm not. I'm definitely not attempting that joke. Chiz breakout coming. Chili's. I actually do hold Chili's as well. A lot of you guys are really happy about that. Anyone get a message from GSX about the April 22nd payout? I didn't actually update myself too much with that. I've basically just waited now. I saw the Bitmart integration, and I'm happy with that, but I haven't really involved myself with that part too much. What are your thoughts on Hedera Hashgraph? Or actually, you said Hedera HBAR? I've told you guys before on the channel, I'm pretty excited about those, but I'm not quite sure what type of coins you guys want on the channel. Telcoin, I think that's pretty stupid, but then again, Emma Zim says, I know you said a while back that you don't know much about Telcoin. Have you done some research, and have you any thoughts of it? As well, it's like Telcoin, and a lot of those coins are, in my opinion, kind of, can you ban the Ma for, you know, just a hatred? Why are you so hateful, brother? But Telcoin, I don't know. It doesn't sound too good, to be honest. But then again, maybe, you know, you never really know. My NFT ran out of gas. Ooh. Quickly checking through you guys' comments. Do you hold Apollo? Very little bit. I had some more before. I sold some more. I've been a little bit all over the place with Apollo specifically. The coins you guys are talking about, I don't even have. VTHO I just talked about. Tron. Once more, I think Tron / the whole Justin Sun debacle is really a nice opportunity, but we don't know how far that's going to be reaching. You guys understand me? Like, I'm really excited about most of these cryptos, and I really firmly believe The majority of what we're buying right now is just going to be going crazy. Tron, VeChain, Hedera Hashgraph, Chiliz, all of these coins you're talking about, I think are going to be going crazy. But it also will depend on Bitcoin. We got to be realistic about that. And Tron is just kind of a coin which will most likely come along with BTT, Just, Sun, just all the coins that Justin Sun has. They're basically in kind of one big line. So as long as Justin Sun keeps up all the promotional efforts, well, those coins will most likely do good as well. But from the moment those coins, Justin Sun starts to kind of lose some steam, or again get into debacle like we saw a couple years ago, or a couple months ago, maybe a couple years ago when he actually give it away. Yeah, that's when things start to get scary again, and especially when crypto again starts to fall a little bit again. As Justin Sun is mostly promoting, that might be scary. At least in my opinion, it is. Just, have you heard anything about Zero Swap? No, I have not. I'm not sure about what that is or what that does. Hold XP forever? I personally wouldn't really think about selling XRP within a couple of months. I'm not really having that in the back of my head. I would personally not really sell coins below, let's see here, below $12. I wouldn't even attempt to sell any coins. Maybe like a couple, or if I'm just trading it really quickly, you know, if I'm buying and selling it, that is fine. But I'm talking about my longer term stash here. I will hold that for a little while until we are at those higher price targets, which I've expressed a couple times in videos now before. That's when things start to get interesting. These price breaks up, even $10 is kind of a rookie number, it's a baby number. I don't need to sell it there. I don't want to sell it there. I want to either go for the big freaking boys or go back home. How is Tether not part of the conversation? I actually just have Theta, but for a good part, it just goes up every time that all these other cryptos go down. I think that's the most interesting part about that coin. Every single time the majority of the coins go down, that coin goes up. I think it's really interesting how that moves. Meet the Jones says, I'm holding XP for a few years, hands down. Yeah, exactly. Same thing as I am. Just holding it through till the freaking end. Let's go for it, baby. Okay, let's actually ask a different question. What are you guys' price targets in terms of percentages? Do you guys have any price targets like that? Where you, for example, want to get a 1,000, 10,000, 100,000% gain or something like that? Computer says, only an hour late. How are you going? How you guys are doing? How's it going, y'all? We're doing really well, I think. Most people in here are doing well. Price is more down. Is that a bad thing, though? We get to buy cheaper, except it really hasn't hit any of the zones which we wanted to hit. So we're not even really happy to buy XRP just quite yet. We're not low enough to buy the majority of our XRP. Keon says, hey Dusty, do you think I should do a 3 times long trade right now? I never do it 3 times. I always go for 20 or 25, to be honest. But no, I wouldn't say do that. It's a scary thing. Let me put it like that. I can never give you a recommendation on that type of stuff. Please don't ask. Going long, short, all the type of stuff is a scary game, to be honest. 6,000% would go home, or 6,000 times. Okay, not even percent. 5K times would be awesome. Okay. If I can match the last bull run, I'll be content. I feel that. It's a pretty big gain, but that's still, I think, really, really doable. Hey, Lasse Hansen, welcome to the Hodler gang. Just became a member. Big member as well, huh? Not even a supporter, a hodler. Big boy. Big guy. Thank you so much, man, for the support, the monthly support. Ryan says you can't get hands on XRP because of the lawsuit. You can definitely. However, in the US, it's a little bit more difficult. Elaborately, deliberately, maybe so. I don't really know. But it's still definitely possible to buy. In the US, to uphold bitrue, you can definitely buy it still. When Elon Musk sends Doge to the moon, then we'll talk about the trap. To be honest, if your only option is to wait for Elon Musk to send Doge to the moon, that's inherently quite a problem, right? So it's basically, you can call it a trap, then yes. Because you're just waiting for 1 minute to tweet something out. That is kind of scary, to be completely honest. And by the way, to give you guys a little overview here, a ton of people are saying XRP right now is going to be falling down, it's over, yada, yada, yada. I keep coming down to the fact that, for example, you could attempt, right? I'm just saying attempt, a short, for example, here. On a daily perspective, we have hit a really interesting high at almost $2, really close to it. We have a really overextended RSI at about 85, for example. You could attempt it. The only problem with stuff like that is you never know if it's actually going to break through, go crazy, or fall back down. Even now, again, You might actually say, okay, what, Dusty, you know what? From a weekly perspective, things are really looking beautiful on the XRP chart. It's looking really freaking beautiful. RSI is really high, but it's not higher than a lot of other times we've seen in the past. For example, 2017, 18, which are not on this chart. So, yeah, all I'm saying here, guys, is you might think it's too high, but then again, look at this. RSI was even more overextended here, and we fell back down just a little bit. Okay, yes, I'm going to give it to you. Right, we fell back down, for example, here, let's say about even maybe 80%. This is 2020, from about 80 cents to about 17 cents or so because of the whole lawsuit, because they got sued, right? Then again, look at the gains as well within this time period. We went up about 1,100% since January of this year. Low volume, this is nothing. The volume is picking up every week here, consecutively. This is a weekly chart for XRP here, short term, but it's picking up. Martin von Wundergas says, we are this far into the bull cycle that the market is like, there's no more value in quality crypto. So let's just make a punt that with the Dogecoin trash coin, that's a sign that this crypto cycle is done. I said before, I personally believe that this Doge ordeal is something negative, but it does not necessarily reflect that just quite yet. It's kind of a start towards what you're saying, that it might kind of start to get into a scenario like that where people are just buying coins left and right because they think it can't fail. And obviously, it can fail, and you should understand that too. And you should also understand, as I've explained at the start of the video too, there's so much more gains to be had, but we don't know in what cycle that will be. Am I bullish on crypto? Oh, definitely yes, guys. Do I think crypto is going to go insane? Oh, yes, guys. But do I know if it's going to happen, for example, in the next couple of months, or if it's going to take another 1.5 years? No, of course I do not. And if you haven't yet, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel, everybody. We're very close to 100,000 subs. Make sure you are a part of that. Also, make sure you hydrate yourself. If you haven't done so, grab yourself some water. Go drink a little bit. Using a VPN allows Bybit and Binance no KYC for US residents. Indeed, if you're using a VPN, it's pretty simple. However, with Binance, they ban your account if you get caught lacking, basically. With Bybit, they don't. So with Binance, be a little bit careful if you're from the US. It's better to just use bitrue or Uphold. Very cool to see you here, Izad. Welcome to the family. SK says, I still do not see any utility in Doge nor in the future, but I have to admit the Doge community can do and to spike its price so you never know. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the whole Doge ordeal, it's basically big because people are making it big, right? It's basically big because people are all coming together and going after it. Somebody says never been banned. It's possible, though. So be careful with that. I'm not saying you're going to. I'm just saying be careful with that. You never know if it's going to happen, right? You know, I've been thinking, I think Elon Musk tweeted everything to the moon. I think that's because governments are printing insane amounts of money to cover debt. Could be. It could be. Have you guys tried KuCoin from RXRP? KuCoin, yeah, I've used KuCoin before. It's a pretty okay exchange. Holochain, I hold that. Any predictions on Filecoin? Personally, I think $200 per Filecoin is pretty easy. We got there a little while ago. But I said that last time once at about 160. Right now, we're already close to 180. Or 185, I guess, close to. Meme is the utility, just like Kim Kardashian or any of those Hollywood pop shows, I think. Every market might have that kind of thing. I said that as well in videos where the utility of Doge is becoming a meme coin, is being a meme coin. So now that people are memeing it about and people are talking about it, that's the use case. That is what it's doing. It's basically the real pump and dump coin, inherently the pump and dump coin. Yeah, that's what it is. Joe says, say my name. In near future, XP will shoot 500. Amen. Gary Gensler just sworn in at TSEC. Yeah, a couple days ago, yes. Dan, the majority of those things you can actually buy on bitrue. It's not that hard. He basically asked, where can I buy BTT, HOT, and SIA coin, I think? I'm in the US. Queen Place has it, but I can't buy it. Uphold does not. Once more, I believe bitrue has those which you can use in the United States. What's your opinion on BTT? It has use case. I think we all see that. So, well, it's already kind of got that think going for itself, that little part. And then again, it's a Justin Sun-led project, which already has that going for itself because Justin Sun is a master marketer. What about Wink? Wink, I think, is pretty stupid. However, there were a couple of really big guys on YouTube, Discord, Telegram, pumping it like crazy. And that's where you also get like this, the effect basically going on. But Wink, from a fundamental perspective, I don't think really makes a lot of sense. Dusty, you ever heard of market cipher, blah, 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 blah? Yes, but I don't personally. I've had some good experiences, some bad experiences with that. It works, but it's not the thing I would like to go for. It's basically a lot of these guys are selling it to you because they make money off of that, a lot of it too. But is market cipher really worth it? It depends. If you know what you're doing with the trading department, you don't need it. Definitely not. And in this case, you are trading, for example, the stuff I've been explaining on Patreon, as most of you guys who are in Patreon know, it's working like a freaking charm. Look at these buys, for example. This is every time we bought XRP, perfect dips every single time. Works like a freaking charm. And you can basically sell it at 3% profit if you want to. I don't know what you want to do for, but it works like a charm. 500 times is clickbait. Explain, man. Go back to the beginning of the video if you are not sure, because we're an hour and a half in. We've already talked about that, obviously. It's not clickbait then. If you don't watch the whole thing, then don't say it's clickbait unless you know about it. All right? And if you haven't seen the beginning, you can either check back or just sit through the rest of the show. Because we've already talked about the 500 times for quite some depth even. It basically comes down to the fact that 500 times is not that hard. If you think it's hard, I think you're pretty crazy, because it really isn't. It's basically coming to the fact that a lot of traditional markets right now have already got 100, 200, 300, 400 trillion dollars worth of markets. Crypto right now is at about 2. I think it's going to get to these heights. And if it does, I think XRP is going to overtake a good part of that again. For example, to get to the same dominance it already had in 2017, it needs to go times 6. And relatively, right now, the market cap is about 2 trillion. If it needs to go to 200 trillion, you can already see it's times 100. Well, boom, all right? Times 100, times 6, you can do the math. And that's not even a hard target. That's just kind of a simple one. It's so freaking easy to get there. I personally believe it's going to get there. There's not a single question in my mind, but then again, people will always be cautious. People will always be hating. People will always be doubting. But I don't really have any doubts on that matter. I just know it's going to happen. Big news on Twitter. What's going on, Hatsko? You guys are saying look Twitter? Why? What's going on? Hatsko, let me know then. You say check Twitter. Okay, what's going on? GNA, GNA give us a dusty cookie. What is GNA? Gonna? Maybe gonna? Let's quickly see. I'm checking over on Twitter to see if there's anything. Let's quickly see if you guys have sent me something. Sup, Fullerine? Jesus says, oh, this is live. Didn't saw it. Good info. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. Ron says, to the moon. It's been said by many XP lovers on Twitter and YouTube in 24 hours, 48 hours, and so on. Nothing is happening, but it's for entertainment purposes only, of course. Only I can't see the entertainment part. Okay. Ooh. I see it differently. To be honest, I see the bigger picture in this one, I guess. We never say 48 hours, 24 hours, stuff like that. That would be a little bit crazy if we were to really tone it down, say it's the only option. No, Louis. Somebody says in the chat box now, 500 times. I think he means 500%. No, I mean 500 times. 500 times is not unreal. Open your mind. I'm gonna come back to this one again. I have to. Sorry for all of you that have been watching since the start. I'm gonna have to come back to these guys who say it's impossible to prove them something. I'm so sorry if you've already seen this one, but it's important. So I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. People who say that it's not possible, I think, have a restrictive mindset. Their mindset right now is locking them into an idea of thinking that, oh, crypto can't get to these. People saying, again, stop using these FOMO-ass titles. Okay, listen to the story then, because you guys are making my head a little bit crazy here. If you think this is impossible, I don't think your head is just developed enough to understand the concept of crypto. One point. Second part is look in front of you right now. Basically, it comes down to crypto going times 500. Okay, 500 for the entire crypto market. I personally think that's a little bit far because that's basically getting into a quadrillion. I am more so saying the crypto market is going times 100. I still firmly believe that that is going to happen. Hear me out. So Here, you can see this is a multi-quadrillion dollar world that's being developed in terms of flow. I kind of believe that, but I don't know when, all right? So I'm personally saying, you know what, let's keep it to trillions of dollars, not quadrillions, because that is too far away. In terms of the stock market, the bond market, the equities market, all of these things are $200, $300, $400 trillion dollar markets each, he said. If you look at it from that perspective, okay, if we go times 100, that would put crypto at 200 trillion. Is that impossible? Well, to me it isn't. And if you think that's impossible, I think that has to do with your restrictive mindset of I'm not mad at all, guys. By the way, I've just explained the story. It was just a joke. I'm saying it's getting to my head, of course. I know. I know people aren't really angry in the comment section either. It's just for fun. It's just not impossible, though. It's just, if you think in your head, oh, it can't happen because why? Give me a good reason